There's a pivotal moment in anyone's financial journey where everything changes, and it begins with a direct question. Why does a net worth of $100,000 transform how you see progress, choices, and possibilities? This amount acts as a reality divider because it marks the moment when effort stops seeming endless and starts generating concrete results. It's when you realize your wealth building has gained momentum and the future seems attainable. Today, you'll understand exactly what happens when you reach this milestone and why it completely redefines your trajectory. Get ready to understand this crucial turning point now. Before reaching $100,000, most people are trapped in a seemingly endless cycle. You work, pay bills, try to save a little, but feel like nothing is really progressing. The impression is that you're always starting from scratch, without building a solid foundation that allows you to breathe easy. This constant feeling of stagnation stems from the lack of assets capable of sustaining unforeseen events, generating stability, and allowing for more strategic decisions. Debt, when it exists, consumes energy and prevents any consistent progress. And when you have money left over, the fear of investing paralyzes you. It's precisely in this scenario that understanding the importance of the first $100,000 starts to make a difference. That's why reaching the first $100,000 becomes the toughest challenge of the entire financial journey. In this initial stage, each contribution seems small and growth happens slowly, requiring discipline even when the results aren't yet impressive. Building wealth is slow because it depends almost exclusively on your direct effort, without significant help from returns. This period tests your patience, consistency, and ability to follow a plan even when progress isn't yet motivating. But precisely because it's so difficult, this milestone becomes so powerful. When you finally surpass $100,000, the financial dynamic changes completely because compound interest begins to act intensely. From this point on, returns cease to seem like a small supplement and begin to represent a real portion of your wealth growth. Money starts working more efficiently, accelerating results that previously depended almost solely on your contributions. This change creates a new rhythm where each income cycle propels the next, making its evolution faster and more noticeable. This is where building gains speed. Surpassing $100,000 doesn't just transform the numbers in your account, it transforms the way you think about money. The feeling of insecurity diminishes and gives way to a greater sense of direction because you stop focusing only on the current month and begin to see the long term more clearly. Choices cease to be guided by urgency and begin to be guided by strategy. A clearer perception emerges about where to cut, where to invest, and how to organize priorities. This new perspective strengthens your ability to plan, and this mental shift opens the way for more solid and consistent decisions. With this new clarity, you have the real conditions to take risks in a planned way. When your net worth reaches $100,000, there is room to test opportunities without compromising your stability. This allows you to explore investments that previously seemed distant, such as variable income, side businesses, or slightly bolder operations. This freedom expands your possibilities for multiplication and strengthens your confidence to analyze scenarios more calmly. It is at this moment that growth ceases to be merely cautious and becomes strategic. As you begin to explore new possibilities with more confidence, an immediate effect emerges. Your financial confidence grows consistently. The feeling of achieving significant wealth reinforces the perception that your choices are on the right track. This personal strengthening improves your decision-making ability, reduces hesitation in the face of opportunities, and makes planning much more solid. This confidence is not limited to money. It influences your career, your projects, and even the way you organize your goals. It's an advancement that propels all areas of life. With greater security and clarity, you begin to see opportunities that were previously beyond your financial horizon. A more robust asset base allows access to products, strategies, and investments that require larger contributions. Differentiated funds, more advantageous deals, and diversification possibilities begin to emerge naturally. This new set of options expands your growth potential and strengthens your wealth building for the next steps. Upon entering this new stage, you can finally break free from that exhausting pattern of improvising each month. The accumulated reserve and growing assets reduce the constant pressure of bills and eliminate the worry of unforeseen financial events. This stability provides a sense of order that previously seemed distant, allowing you to make decisions calmly. You begin to live with more organization, more predictability, and a tranquility that supports more mature and efficient choices. This new stability opens the way for consistent habits, which become the foundation of financial evolution. Those who reach $100,000 tend to follow clear routines, regular contributions, frequent monitoring of investments, conscious control of expenses, and decisions made with a focus on the future. This structured behavior eliminates unnecessary impulses and strengthens the discipline that sustains wealth growth. With these practices, progress ceases to depend on momentary willpower and becomes guided by rhythm, consistency, and planning. When these habits are consolidated, wealth growth begins to follow a much faster pace. After $100,000, each income reinforces the next, creating a snowball effect that makes doubling the value much faster than the initial buildup. The sum of discipline, consistent contributions, and compound interest generates a boost that previously seemed distant. This phase clearly shows how the effort of the first years finally begins to produce significant results on its own. With wealth growing at a faster pace, a new perception emerges about what is possible to achieve. $100,000 represents not just an accumulated value, but a turning point that redefines your sense of direction. Goals cease to seem distant and are seen as natural steps along the way. You start planning bigger projects, setting more ambitious goals, and visualizing levels of financial freedom that previously seemed too bolding. This new horizon broadens your motivation and reinforces the importance of continuing to evolve. By understanding everything this milestone represents, it becomes clear that every decision made today directly influences the pace of your financial growth in the coming years. Postponing investments means missing opportunities that could be strengthening your assets now. Therefore, the ideal time to act is always the present. With discipline and consistency, results will appear. Remember, reaching $100,000 is not a distant destination, but a possible goal when you decide to move forward with focus and determination. And if you're not yet subscribed, subscribe to continue following the upcoming videos. Here you will find content that strengthens your financial mindset, accelerates your growth, and brings you closer to the life you want to build. Your like also makes a big difference. Continue following the channel on this journey.